Sanket reports that Uddhav Thackeray has decided to support the NDA presidential candidate Droupadi Murmu in the presidential elections. He made that announcement today, but there are much larger implications for opposition unity as well with that announcement. Sanket?
So, how do the numbers add up as far as the president fight is concerned, the presidential race is concerned? It seems that Mr. Shiv Sena is not getting the sort of support that he thought that he would. And the latest is Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. Let's see what has happened. So, Shiv Sena's Shinde as well as Uddhav faction are going to vote for one choice. Uddhav has decided to support the NDA's presidential candidate. Now, Shiv Sena, remember, just for perspective, voted for UPA's presidential candidate in 2007, that is Pratibha Patil, and 2012, that is Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, despite being a part of the NDA. So it's very interesting that they have decided to this time back the NDA and not be with the UPA, their new alliance partners. Now this move is being seen as Uddhav's attempt to reach out to rebel MLAs and also contain the defection of the MPs. Remember, a meeting took place where about 12 or 13 MPs only showed up and 6 or 7 were not there. Now, Uddhav is risking an NCP Congress alliance, that is the Aghadi, and perhaps risking his so-called friendship with Sharad Pawar. In fact, there is talk of great tension, or could there perhaps be tension between Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray just to get his own house in order? Is that the larger idea behind supporting Droupadi Murmu, though he says that he is backing a tribal candidate for this position? Let's quickly listen into what Uddhav Thackeray had to say and then what the opposition's candidate Shiv Sena had to say.
मैं द्रौपदी जी को शिवसेना की ओर से समर्थन देता हूं और आने वाले समय में जब वो राष्ट्राध्यक्ष बनेगी तो मेरी यही इच्छा और शुभेच्छा शुभकामना है कि हिंदुस्तान जो आज की स्थिति में चल रहा है उससे उभर कर आगे बढ़े।
हम तो ये उम्मीद करके चलते थे कि जो बचा हुआ धड़ा है उद्धव ठाकरे के साथ तो हमारे समर्थन में रहेगा और ऐसा उन्होंने आश्वासन भी हमको दिया।
Let's now talk about the numbers, which is very, very significant. So as far as Droupadi Murmu is concerned, BJP has 42.30% of the electoral college. You add about 2% of the JDU, 1.38 of the ADMK, 4% of YSR Congress, 2.93 of the BJD, BSP is under 1%, both the factions of the Shiv Sena, 0.63 and 1.7 together, and about 4% of the independents. This takes the tally in terms of percentage for Droupadi Murmu to 60.64%. And this is definitely 10.5% more than the halfway mark. So how do you get a new president in this country if you have more than 50% of the electoral college? As of this moment, for all those people who have pledged support, 60.5% are with Droupadi Murmu. And even now, Aam Aadmi Party is yet to decide. The Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in all likelihood is going to be with Droupadi Murmu, and there are other candidates or other political parties and formations also who are likely to vote. If this also gets added to Droupadi Murmu's total, then in that case, her electoral college percentage could rise as high as 65%. We are also hearing that many people, because this presidential election is an election for a constitutional post, which means that there is no party whip involved. In that case, many people from their existing parties can also, without any action from their party, choose to vote in favor of Droupadi Murmu. For instance, women MPs and MLAs. For instance, tribal MPs and MLAs. So could there be a situation where this would be a landslide win for Droupadi Murmu, and where does that leave the opposition's choice, Mr. Shiv Sena?